Girl finds person. Person and girl go on a couple of dates. Things go really well. Person goes out of town for a little bit. Girl and person keep communicating. The idea is that they will see each other when person comes back. Person gets back into town. Person calls girl and said, I would love to see you this week. Girl says, I would also love to see you. Let me know how your week goes and we'll schedule something. Days go by. Girl texts person saying, hi, the week is quickly getting filled up. Do you want to lock down a time when we're both free? Person does not respond. Girl knows that person is not the best texter, so person, may get back to girl later. Girl's okay with that. So girl waits a couple more days. Person still does not respond. Girl begins to crash out just a little bit because girl is very tired of being left on red, especially when there was no reason to indicate that anything was wrong. Girl sends voice note to person saying, hey, it's okay if you don't want to see me anymore, but can you just let me know? Girl is waiting for a reply.
She's simply not interested. This hit that girl really hard, as you'll see in another video where she suffers over it. Today's video, why men are avoiding women in their 30s. Before we get started, drop us a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. That's what keeps us alive. Let's get into it.
Dating is really hard. It's really hard to get your hopes up about somebody and then have it not work out. I'm not crying over a man. I'm kind of am, but I also haven't eaten, so I'm emotional. But this is just going to be a really vulnerable post, I guess. I'm trying really hard to put myself out there. I am putting myself out there. But I feel like I don't find a lot of people that I'm interested in or that I'm attracted to or that there's that connection in a multitude of ways. And so when you finally do find somebody like that and it doesn't work, I don't want to say I'm gutted. That's too strong. I'm actually okay. Despite this, I'm actually okay. But it is disappointing because you get excited. Then you have to rally and you have to put yourself back out there. And Merlin series trying to make me feel better. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm bummed and dating gets me down sometimes. And I'm trying to practice what I preach and do everything the right way and meet people in person or on apps. I don't care. I'm not going to discriminate at this point, even though I think the apps suck. But I just really want my person. I'm really tired of being alone. And people will say, like, you will find it when you least expect it. But, like, how are you going to find something if you're not looking, if you're not putting it out there? So I am putting it out there. I'm going through the motions. I'm doing the work. And I just have to remember that I'm not in control and I can only do what I can do. But that really sucks. And I feel like I constantly oscillate between seeing, happy single women on here who are going, pick your partner wisely and just wait and just stay single and everything's fine. And I get that and I believe that. But I think about how happy I've been in my partnerships when I've had them and when they were good. And I miss that feeling so badly. And I don't want to date from a point of desperation because it's not that. And I'm not going to pick somebody just to have somebody. But I'm really tired.
You should have stayed in those relationships. The problem with you all is that you bought into the idea that something better is always coming. When you've got a catalog of options, your brain is always chasing the shiniest thing instead of the connection. And when you finally find that man, you don't show up for him. Because the guy with the full package has better options than a 34-year-old woman. That's the reality. She's hit the wall. That's why when you're young, you should be focused on building something real with a good man. But instead you're out chasing the successful one. And look how it ends, crying at the wall. Because the wall doesn't forgive.
I'm 135 pounds.
The way some women date nowadays is really fucking weird. Real discretion is advised.
I can cook. I can clean. I have all of my teeth except for my wisdom teeth. I can change brakes. So I definitely can change tires. I know how to change my own oil. I can paint walls of houses. I can put them tall things up on the roof. I can grow the hell out of some food. I can make clothes. I can wash clothes, iron clothes, fix clothes. I can do hair. I can make medicine from plants. I can do taxes. I'm starting a nonprofit. I am, how do I say this? I work out, okay? I'm physically fit. I work out. I take care of myself. I can drive. I'm ahead on my bills. I can buy my own flowers. I can arrange the flowers and I can grow the flowers. I can heal myself and I can heal others. That's just scratching the surface of me not trying to sound like I'm doing too much.
Okay.
Yet, with all of these things that I have going on, I will never, ever explain to a man what I bring to the table.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Although you just explained to the whole world online, you would not explain that to a man that's gonna potentially be your husband? Unless I'm missing something here. Maybe she's just not intimate, and if she's not, then that makes perfect sense, and the video will stand. But I don't think that's what it is. And let me make this very clear. I think all things that she listed are wonderful things. I think this is a well-rounded woman. But I think the point she's missing is none of that says anything to your actual character. All those things you listed say nothing to who you actually are. They are not character traits. Those are just things that you've learned to do. And like I said, they are wonderful things, but that doesn't make you a good person. That doesn't make you a good partner. Those are just things you know how to do. Plus, a lot of people come in saying a lot of things that they can do, but that doesn't mean you actually will do them in said relationship. So if you got with a man, can he expect you to do all those things you just listed? I don't think so. But to address the ending once more, so you won't explain to a man that you are potentially going to date, but you'll get online and tell us, people that don't give a fuck, people that are not dating you, you'll get online, post that video for us to see. You will explain it in detail. But then the man that you possibly will be with in the future, you're like, nah, he don't deserve. I just don't get it. Maybe this is some shit I'm just not supposed to understand because my brain won't allow me to accept the message in that video. It started off so well. I was like, this is going great. And then the ending came around and I was like, wait a minute. You took time out of your day to talk to us, complete strangers, people that you're not dating, that will not bring you any actual value. But the person that you've given an opportunity to get to know you, you won't tell them those very things. I don't get it. I don't get it. But you know what? Fortunately for her, I don't have to get it because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
She's a functional adult. That's not something to be impressed by. But you don't have the attitude of a wife. You're not sweet. You're not gentle. You don't trust men. You won't support your man. You didn't say a single thing about what you do for him. All your energy goes into wanting to be the one in charge and holding the man accountable to you. That's not how it works. A woman with that kind of attitude is not someone you want to build a life with, no matter how many things she can do, because she's missing the most important one. She doesn't know how to take care of a man. And that's what we're actually looking for in you.
Women.
I was hanging out with my friend yesterday and we were talking about dating, and she was telling me how she's so frustrated with dating and with men, and she's just so over it. And she's 27, she's gorgeous, and I'm not just saying that because she's my friend. She's just objectively beautiful. She's from Brazil, she's sweet, she works out a lot, she's super fit. She's just had so many disappointing experiences over the last couple years. Like, she feels like guys just don't take her seriously for some reason. Like, they think it's okay to just treat her casually, even though she tells them up front she only is interested in something serious. She's not interested in anything casual. And some guys are just actually dumb. They don't know how to behave. On some of the dates, she'll like offer to pay or split something just to see how they react. Any gentleman is not going to accept that offer. He's not going to let the woman pay on at least the first handful of dates. And some of these guys will just let her pay. Like, they'll just be like, yeah, go ahead. You can pay for that. Yeah, pay for that. I'm sorry. He was just in the mindset of like, I've just been so disappointed by so many of these guys. Like, I just don't even want to try anymore.
So the date for her friend gets ruined the moment she pulls out her wallet. Then why offer to pay in the first place? You're the one who said you wanted to see how they'd react. Better to stay quiet and wait to see if the man asks you to split the bill. On top of that, none of this happens if they just go for coffee on the first date. Her friend is probably one of those who'd rather go to a restaurant to get to know someone. And that's where she fails, not the man. At a coffee shop, you don't run into those situations.
I'm sharing this with you so that I can at least spare some of you the same fate. If you are in a situation where you have a gut instinct about a guy, please listen to it, because that man does not like you. I just had this interaction with this guy in a professional setting, and he was basically explaining to me the fact that he's seen this girl and, oh, you know, this and oh, that. And he kept saying it in such a weird way. And I was like, do you like this girl? And he was like, yeah, I like her, but she talks a lot. I was like, what do you mean she talks a lot? He's like, oh, yeah, she be yapping. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm a yapper. Like, are you not interested in what she has to say? I mean, it's fine. You know, I deal with it. And I was like, wait a second. You deal with it. You don't like her. And he's like, no, I like her. But, you know, I feel like I lowered my standards for her. I was like, okay, so you don't like her. He's like, no, I like her. It's just, I'm not attracted to her face. And I was like, cool, so you don't like her. Why are you dating this person? And he's like, well, I see the potential of her because she's in med school right now, and she's gonna go and she's, you know, gonna make a lot of money when she's done. You don't like her. You like the idea of what she could be. You like the convenience of her. And I even said this to him. I was like, dude, you just like the convenience of her. And he's like, oh, yeah, I think that's fair. And I was like, is she on the same page as you? Like, are you both just like in this for a fun time and not a long time? And he's like, no, I feel like a dick, but like, you know, I can tell she likes me more than me. But you know what? I've been there too. So it's like, I guess hurt people. And I was just like, buddy, this is so bold of a man who is under 5'9" to say to me. Like, I'm 5'4" and he is small to me. Like, you have a lot of audacity to be like, oh, I lowered my expectations for her and I only like her for what she could potentially bring me. I'm like, the closet is made of glass, okay? And the reason why I say that, okay, no judgments, but also like the reason why I say that is because I was talking, like it came up naturally that I'm bi, and he's like, oh man, I wish I could swing both ways. It would just be so much oh, that's what started this conversation. He was like, I wish I could be bi, or I could swing both ways. It would just be so much easier. Just like, I don't really find myself having anything in common with a lot of women. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, you know, you can explore that, right? And then that's when he started talking about like this girl that he's seen now. He's like, no, I'm seeing this girl and blah, blah, blah. And then he starts listing all these things he doesn't like about her. And I was just like, just break up with her. Just break up with her. Okay. And then eventually we were just like in this professional setting. So I couldn't really say anything else. I was just kind of like, yep. Okay. I mean, you already know where I'm thinking of, or like what my thoughts are on this. I also was saying like a few times, I was like, please go to therapy. Like, you know, I said it with a smile on my face, but I was just like, if you're sitting and you say something that like, you know, you want to share with something and their immediate reaction is, God, you're just talking a lot. That person doesn't like you. Please, there are so many other people out there in the world. You do not need to be spending your time with people like this. And even if you're like, oh, I'm just spending a little time for just like a little fun, that person is using your energy and your body. That person does not care about you. There's a difference between having a good time with some people where there's like mutual respect and understanding. There's at least a good amount of shared energy there compared to this type of situation where that person just needs a body. Okay? So let's don't give them that, please, for the love of God.
Fuck up, you crazy bitch whore!
First of all, you took what he said and used it to insult his physical appearance instead of actually countering his argument. And he's right. You can be with someone without liking everything about them. Plus, women almost always get with a man more for his potential than for what he actually is in that moment. They see a guy with certain qualities and see potential in him to become a husband. Why can't a man do the same thing? And if that guy thinks he's lowering his standards, as you all love to say, it's because he has the confidence to know he can do better. I genuinely don't understand why common sense bothers people so much.
Because I want to be dainty and I want to be femme and I want to be vulnerable and I want to be affectionate. But they're so stupid.
No, 100% this, because for a generation of boys who cry out that they want the dainty, feminine princess girls, they really cannot deliver on their end of that bargain then. And yes, I could go down the rabbit hole of arguing because I don't think that men are actually naturally the better born leaders, and a lot of research is coming forward saying that women lead things like companies and whatnot more effectively than men. But at the end of the day, the reason no woman on earth was appalled or moved or shocked at all to men starting their drizzle movement in response to women is because every woman who's tried to date a man on this planet knows that most of y'all are already completely incapable of stepping up to the bat and doing those things anyway. So it's kind of like acceptance is the first step, babe. Yes, you guys are realizing it now too. And a perfect example of this is I re-downloaded my dating apps towards the beginning of this year, and I decided to try and take it seriously this time around and really assess what I was looking for. And because I do have a lot going on in my life and I have to figure out how to fit a man or another person into that, I realized like I'm looking for a man independent, doesn't need a mom, isn't looking for another mom, you know, like someone who can actually like take the reins sometimes and like handle things. And my whole life I've been very like independent, very we split the bill on the first date, you know, etc. And I realized maybe like I'm going about this wrong. Men are saying they want like little dainty princesses, and you know what? Being taken care of to a lot of us sounds kind of nice right about now. So I decided that the barrier to entry to getting a date with me would be that you have to ask me on a date, obviously, and you have to plan the date, and I will show up for the date. Since I've downloaded these dating apps, I've talked to a number of men, gone on only like 3 or 4 real dates. Because that's how many men like literally can't even plan a first date. That's how quickly they expect you to start pulling all of the weight in a relationship that hasn't even started yet. For example, about 2 weeks ago or so, I started talking to this boy on the apps. Great conversation, right? All green flags. And then he hits me with like, can I get your number? Let's get off the apps and let's get a date plan. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, green flag, green flag. I give him my number after like agreeing to this. I expect him to hit me with some date plans, but he opens up with some small talk and that's fine. He mentions again, like, yeah, we should go on this date. I agree. I say we should go on this date. And then the small talk continues for some reason. No date has been planned at this point, and yet I've agreed twice that we should be going on a date. About a day or so later, as we're talking, once again, he asked me, like, would you be interested on going on a date with me? And at this point, like, red flag number 1. Sir, how many times do I have to tell you and reassure you, like, yes, you haven't even asked me out on the date yet, but you've asked me a number of times if I'd want to go on a date. That was the whole point of me giving you my number.
It's been a while since I reacted to this woman, and she's still just as unhinged. And being single is clearly taking a toll on her. To me, what men notice about her is that she looks like a calm woman. That classic sweet small-town girl you could build a home with. But the moment she opens her mouth, they realize how intense she is and how much stress would come with being in a relationship with her. That's why she's a permanent spinster. Because she wants control. That guy was feeling things out before asking her out. Maybe he's shy. Maybe he's planning something. But she's so intense she wants everything right now. That's why she never gets anywhere. But let's keep going.
So at this point, I respond back, I'm really confused. We've had this conversation already. Like, I've already agreed to this. Why do you keep asking me this, but not asking me on a date? And he's like, right. Oh, okay, my bad. So, like, what time maybe would you want to do it? And, like, where would you want to go? What do you want to do on the date? I just stopped responding at this point because I'm like, sir, you're making me plan this whole date that you're supposed to be asking me on. Right? Red flag number 2. So I stopped responding to him. About 24 or 48 hours later, he hits me up. And he took the hint, obviously, and he says, Monday night, let's go get food. I'll text you closer to the date, a location. And I'm like, yes, 100%. Also noted, boys aren't stupid. He noticed that real quick. So Sunday rolls around and he's like, we could go get smoothies. And I'm like, that's a good idea because I like a coffee smoothie first date. But if it's after work, there aren't going to be any smoothie places open. So he and I are pitching ideas back and forth for what to do. And he says, let's go to Crisp and Green. And I'm like, okay, I would have preferred like apps at a restaurant or something, but I guess we're getting dinner at a fast food place. A little bit odd, but Crisp and Green is kind of nice salads. So sure, I agree to it. Monday morning rolls around, he texts me bright and early that he's super excited to go on the date tonight. We're talking throughout the day. An hour or 2 before the date, he texts me, oh, it's my uncle or grandpa or somebody's birthday this weekend, and I actually have to call my family tonight at 6:30, the time the date was planned, so that we can plan it this weekend. Can we push the date to like tomorrow or Wednesday? And I go, that's strike number 3, red flag number 3. Dude, No, I just respond back, I am unfortunately busy tomorrow, which I was. I had plans with my friends. And he responds back, I screwed up real bad here multiple times, huh? And I didn't respond back to any of this because you did, dude. Like, I had to back you into asking me on the real date. Then I had to back you into planning the date. I'm not going to back you into showing up to the date too, dude. So yeah, many of us would love to be like pretty princesses in a castle somewhere with just like dresses and getting our hair done all day. But if these guys can't even plan a date, how are you going to build us a castle? My life is just easier not having to manage your daily schedule on top of mine. And don't even get me started on the concerns it would raise if we were to have children together. I don't want to feel like the only parent in a house in which I'm now raising my children and also my partner.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Let me be clear. This guy was either not interested or he's just really lazy and clueless. Because to me, the right move when you're asking someone out is to plan the date. First, the first date is coffee. Second, planning the date gives you full control of the situation. You go somewhere you're comfortable, you can think through what happens next in different scenarios. That's what I'd recommend to any man trying to ask a woman out. Now, if she was actually into him, which is already a high bar for her, she could have just helped him out a little. Maybe he doesn't have much experience with that. But that's how she is. 3 strikes and he's out. And then she wonders why she can't catch a break. We've reached the end. But before we go, the questions are for you. Why do you think women today have such bad luck dating when they claim to have it all figured out? Have you ever been on a date that felt more like an interrogation than a conversation? If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Your support means a lot to us and keeps us motivated to keep creating. Stay tuned for the next video from the wall.